edition of They Said What? I'm Wilson Cole, and I'm president of Adams, Evans, and Ross. And, of course, we provide collection services for about 3,000 staffing and recruiting firms. And we also provide AER's Backdoor Hiring Hound, which is our artificial intelligent platform that goes out and finds backdoor hires for recruiters and conversions for staffing firms. This is a self-therapeutic blog that after 25 years of listening to the most moronic and asinine excuses on why our clients were backdoor hired with their candidates, and the excuses that the attorneys and the debtors have given us. I just hung up the phone probably a few hours ago with one of the best that I've actually heard. Let me kind of give you the backdrop. Our client is a recruiter. They were working with a software company, a startup software company, and the software company needed a national sales manager. So our client signed off on a contingency-based agreement. No retainer, contingency-based agreement. Our client provided 3 to 5 candidates over about a 45-day period. The CEO of this startup just had horrendous time management skills, was constantly canceling interviews, was out of town at company retreats for 2 weeks while they're a startup and doing company retreats. I'm not going to judge, but so this thing goes on and on and on and on. Finally, our client gets an email after they set up an interview for one of their obviously the best candidate that they had supplied, and the email, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, basically says, "Look, you're taking too long to find us talent. We're canceling the search." Well, about 2 days later, they hire this candidate. And so our client retains us, and I'm kind of looking over the paperwork, and I'm just kind of shaking my head that this hasn't been paid. And I call out to the debtor, and the debtor's attorney follows back up with me. Now, let me give you an absolute fact, absolute comparison. Every time you are dealing with a stupid client, I can assure you that their attorney will be equally as stupid. And I'm changing the names throughout these blogs to protect the stupidity of the identities of these people. But the attorney, will call him, I'm going to use the initials, not the correct name, but we're going to call him Jimmy Watkins, okay? Fictitious name. But his law firm is named Watkins the Firm. He has a logo on his company website that is a variation of Watkins the Firm. WTF. Well, I guess I should have been forewarned. But anyway, so I'm talking to the attorney. And he's a younger kid. Heck, everybody to me is a younger kid these days. But anyway, he tells me, he says, well, the reason our client did not pay your client is because your client breached the contract. And it's like, breached the contract of a contingency-based agreement. Please explain to me how our client working on a contingency-based agreement, where they're absorbing all of the risk, they're absorbing all of the time, how did they breach the agreement? And I swear, verbatim, he says, the reason that they breached the agreement is because your client did not provide enough candidates in a short enough period of time. Therefore, our client felt that time was running out and they had no other choice but to hire the best candidate that they had presented. They said, what?